Bruce, if you had your druthers, what would that Ontario electricity mix pie chart look like in half a century?
I don't know, and I don't care. As my colleagues at the Fraser Institute have pointed out, of the amount of greenhouse gases that Ontario emits, the proportion that the power generation contributes is a mere 3%. 3%. And the transportation and building and industrial sectors combined produce 80%. So the rationale for investing money to increase renewable energy on the basis that it is a climate change solution is pure bunk. It is an excuse for a private industry to want to get back on the public teat, to get more public money for no particular reason at all. We don't need any of this energy in our energy mix. It is not making the power generation is not making a substantial contribution to greenhouse gases anyway.
Well, Bruce, let me follow up with this. Let me follow up with this because it cannot have escaped you that there have been hundreds of thousands of young people protesting in the streets over the last few days, demanding that this generation do a heck of a lot better job to ensure that their generation, when they become adults, have a shot at a cleaner world. What do we owe them?
Yes. A better education.
Meaning what?
Meaning they need to be able to think for themselves instead of being indoctrinated by political actors. The message that they've been delivering is cuckoo, it's daft, it's adolescent, and it's not true. And they've been led astray by the adults in their lives, and those adults should be ashamed of themselves.
Sarah, I'll give you the last word on this. What do we owe those kids in the streets?
We owe those kids everything. Those kids are taking their own ideas and their own independent thoughts and looking at the older generation and saying that you owe me a better future, and we need to respect what they're saying. In Ontario, it may not make sense that we continue to decarbonize our already relatively decarbonized grid, but we do owe it to our children to address the emissions in our transportation system, the emissions in our buildings. That's where our focus should be. In Ontario, we've got this obsession with, the Green Energy Act. One of my biggest pet peeves is it's the Green Electricity Act. Energy is so much more than just electricity generation. And we owe it to our kids. I owe it to my daughter and my daughter's future to find a way forward to reduce pollution, deliver clean air, deliver clean water. That's the future our kids want, and that's the future that they deserve.
You two are an interesting mix of agreeing on some things and completely appalled with each other on other things. And it's one of the reasons why we like to have both of you on the program. Bruce Pardy, Professor of Law at Queen's University, Sarah Petrovan, Senior Policy Advisor, Clean Energy Canada. We're grateful to both of you for coming on to TVO tonight. Thanks.